All right, man. So I want to talk about WrestleMania 19, this part where it left a bad taste in my mouth, and that was where Booker T caught the L to Triple H. Now, I didn't do a video on this, period. But this is the first time I think I'm really going to go in depth with it, because I really want to really shed some different light on this. Now, he said today that he felt that loss didn't affect his career whatsoever. I have to tend to disagree, because even when you go back to when he first signed to the WWE, they already had it on him for the beginning. He already had the target on his back. Number one, he was from WCW. Number two, he was black. Number three, he hurt the Golden Goose, or one of the biggest stars, on his debut, which was Stone Cold, where he slammed Stone Cold on the table and it broke his hand, I believe. So, right there, from there, he was going to have a rough time adjusting. Then you had The Rock sonning him. Then follow that later with him getting his ass beat in the supermarket, even though that was funny. Booker just happened to be talented enough to make it work. Then they try to pair him up with Goldust. And they thought they were going to make him look like a fool. They were kind of trying to give him the R-Truth treatment. But to Booker's credit, he made it work. He made it work. So he gets over as a babyface later on. He's one of the best baby faces of the company around this time. He beats, I think he wins a battle royal where he throw the Rock out and he starts to aim for the championship. So Triple H comes out there and he just buries Booker T. And he brings up his nappy hair. He talks jive. Then he brought up how that place that he worked was a joke at WCW when he won the belt over there 5 times. Say he was a common criminal. Just lowballing him as a man and lowballing him as a black man. And the only reason why we stuck around was to see if he was going to get payback and win the title. Because I was thinking, okay, this makes sense. If he's going to go through this, let this dude at least win the title. He already, because this must be real, this whole run with Triple H has been a stinker. He already had 2 back-to-back stinkers with Scott Steiner. So, we're going to see Booker T, at least for his humiliation, get his due. So they have their match. It was pretty decent. Triple H hits a pedigree. And it's like a long stall of him covering Booker T. And Booker T ends up losing. And you could feel the gas in the air. People were pissed off. There was silence. They was like, what? That's it? That's it? And Booker T just went down the card. Now people gonna sit there and say, man, look, Goldberg was coming in. They could have had Booker get a run in for at least about a couple months. Booker T was over. Booker T was popular. You know how much prestige they could have gave to that company just having a black man for a change win the title? I'm not talking The Rock, but a pure black man. But instead, he went down the card. He would end up start being tag teaming. He started tag teaming afterwards for a little while. It took him a while to get his solo mojo back. And then he started getting it when he became King Booker. And then another thing too. Then he participated in that storyline with Kurt Angle and Sharmell. I didn't like that storyline. I felt that it was some sick, depraved story that Vince McMahon came up in his mind. I did not like that story at all. I mean, those 3 are too talented for that type of weird shit. That's some weird shit right there. When he told me, I want to have gutter sex with your wife. You know, portraying Kurt Angle as a arpist. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, come on, man. You could do better booking than that. That's just shitty booking. And then you made Booker T like he's just this half-ass dude that came to protect his wife. I didn't like that storyline. I didn't like it either. But because it didn't do any wonders for none three of them. But here's another thing too, though. Booker T just happened to got lucky because he's sitting there and saying, "Well, I bought a house off of that. I bought a house off that WrestleMania." I'm like, dog, you were lucky. You were lucky because many people careers would have been buried at that point. And I'm gonna give y'all another deep analyst to look at. This is why a lot of them, from the Booker T's and the Mark Henrys, they always talking shit about the black talent whenever they stand up for themselves because they didn't do it. That's why he had something bad to say about Swerve Strickland. He had something bad to say about Sasha. He hated on Jason Jordan. You can check that on the Off the Cuff Radio with me and my man Mike Knox and Sandman. We did a show about that. Like, he will go the extra mile. He will do the Stephen A. Smith and just shit heavily on black talent. That's because they're doing what he couldn't do, and that's stand up for himself. That's the reason why. That's the reason why he envied it too, and they got over without kissing ass. Because Booker T felt he had to kiss a lot of ass to get those accolades. Now, he ain't going to admit it, but you know it kind of messes with his pride. So that kind of hurts him in a way when you see a guy like Swerve doing it his own way. Then he got called out for, having Vince McMahon using the N-word around him doing the promo. I mean, a lot of that wacky, goofy shit Booker would partake of. It feels as though he can't really shake it, but then he tried to compensate for it by saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and beat your ass. We can see these hands." All that is a defense mechanism, because he felt castrated, like partaking in that storyline with Kurt Angle and Sharmell. Then you felt that you did the whole thing with Triple H. Then Triple H emasculated him again when they did the whole Sting Triple H story mode. I'm like, nah. The character is how you eat. The character is your brand. The character is how you make money. The character is where you sell t-shirts. You got to protect that at all costs. Who's going to buy a t-shirt or buy merchandise or memorabilia of a loser? Or somebody that just got suckered out? But that's my take on that right there, man, because Booker T, I've been noticing that about him for several years. I just couldn't put my thumb on it. That he will go the extra mile against black talent because they did what he couldn't do. And that's stand up for himself. Stand up to Vince McMahon. Stand up to Triple H. So that's what it does. So let me know what you guys think. Subscribe with the like button. Peace.